Showtime. We're live at the Apollo. Hey, Roundup homies, come on in tonight. It's so cool that we can do these broadcasts to get the people that are like us that want to know about business, real estate, entrepreneurship, forward thinkers, as opposed to looking at that mind numbing mess that's on the TV, Clarence. What do you think?
Absolutely. We have got to be entrepreneurial. First, I want to just say, hey, what's up, Roundup? But
We'll get to
yeah,
that.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
just coming on.
Oh, okay. Good deal, good deal. Yeah, we have got to become entrepreneurs. We have to be more concerned with the business of us instead of
Mind your business.
mind your business instead of building the business of someone else.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I just think we weren't raised like that, and we're gonna do better. We're gonna do better. I think the next generation, Clarence, they are gonna take this thing and just do wonders with it.
Absolutely. I think there has to be an evolution each generation. So there were some things that the prior generation they didn't know, learned. Well, their forefathers didn't know, but then they learned. And the same thing with us. We're learning things that our the generation before us didn't necessarily know, and then the next generation they're going to be able to take what we have and add on to it. So
It's gonna be crazy.
we got to create. We have to create a new mindset of what is the norm. And so at one point the norm was get a nice 9 to 5 job, work there for 30 years, get a
That's
pension.
true.
That is the norm. Now
You're right.
we're in a different type of norm right now, where I think the norm has to be multiple streams of income, having passive income streams.
Unearned income. Yeah.
Yes, unearned, that amongst things, and there's probably plenty of more. I know you talk about having digital assets. These things have to be the norm. Owning multiple properties has to be.
I love it. The norm, the new norm. Let's talk about it tonight. Good evening, Roundup. Greetings to you. I am Chris Haskins. I am your host tonight, your pilot, as we fly over the United States and talk about traveling. I'm sorry, travel nurses. I keep calling it travel nurses to help raise your financial literacy. And my mission to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. We're going to stay in real estate tonight. I know I bounce all off the walls, creating different buckets for you to earn extra income and create different opportunities for yourself. So a few months ago, I bumped into this gentleman. Matter of fact, he met Smitty first. Smitty called me up. Do you remember Smitty, Clarence?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Seems
So
like a
he,
real guy.
yeah, he's phenomenal, dude. There would be no Chris Haskins if it was for him. It wasn't for him. He told me, he's like, man, you might need to meet this dude. I'm like, okay, who's this Clarence character?
Right.
We'll see what he got. But I like to. My mentor says, Chris, keep a Shoshin mentality. Always keep a beginner's mindset. You don't
Right.
know it all.
Right.
Somebody
And
knows more than you. Go ahead.
and I want to add to that. And I was having a conversation with my fiance, and I was telling her, you have to do the certain disciplines. You have to have the certain habits, and part of my habits is always trying to search different channels to find properties. So whether me going to networking events, whether I'm looking on Zillow, whether I'm looking on Facebook Marketplace. And so I happen to go on Marketplace. I go there every morning and I'll search things like rent to own to see, hey, who got some properties that maybe I can acquire using some creative financing strategy.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
That's how I came across the property that y'all were marketing. And I got to meet Smitty, which ultimately then me and you connected. And so just doing that simple discipline of, hey, every morning I'm going to get up, I'm going to look at, I'm going to go on MLS, I'm going to go on a Marketplace, I'm going to go on Zillow, I'm going to go to some network meetings, I'm going to call up strategic partners, let them know, hey, connect me with frustrated landlords, connect me with wholesalers, connect me with I just do that all the time. And, putting those seeds in, and then you start to harvest, and just being in partnership with you, man, it's a great thing.
Sweet. It's an honor hanging out with you, brother. And Norfolk State homie. I'm a Hampton University homie, but we still got love for each other, man. I don't have no problem with it.
Absolutely. Look, I was telling my sister today, because she notices that I spend a lot more time in Hampton. I said, look, I done picked up a couple of Hampton University shirts. I'm like, hey, I'm doing business in Hampton. Support the community. It's a HBCU. It's all love. So even
Yeah, man.
green and gold, Spartan Legion to the core, I got love at Hampton University too. Shout out to the
Yeah.
force.
I appreciate that. I'm like, man, we all in the same common denominator, brother, trying to have progress.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Get
sir.
all that division and all that. That's what keeping us down.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. So it's all love, and I don't mind rocking a Hampton University shirt. All love.
Appreciate that. So round up tonight for the next few moments in time. Clarence Harris, a new business associate. I consider him a running mate. My mentor, Patrick Bet David, said, Chris, when you find a running mate, you need to make sure you kind of hold up your end of the bargain, push as hard as you can, because they're going to push too. And that way you can pass things back and forth to each other. And Clarence told me the other day, leverage my contacts, my abilities, while I'll leverage his skill, his contacts, his network. And 1 + 1, he said it equals more than 2.
We're gonna synergize.
It's truly amazing, brother. So we're here, man. I've been hanging out. Matter of fact, I seen Terrence every day this week, different properties, looking at different houses. We didn't look at houses together. I went to his. He looked at my joint. So we're trying to create a synergy so we can teach you the best way to get into this travel nurse thing, because I feel like this is a huge opportunity. Stop worrying about getting that low $100, $200, $300 a month. If you're a landlord or you want to partner with somebody, that low $200.
Oh wow,
That used to be me.
Listen, we all got to start somewhere.
That's true. That's true.
And then we get more game and evolve.
Yeah, we learn more. So, Clarence, tell us a little bit about your background, and then let's get into what in the world is a travel nurse and why do we care about this stuff?
Okay, so my background, working professionally as an accountant since 2001. I'm a licensed CPA in the state of Virginia, certified management accountant, certified financial manager, enrolled tax resolution specialist. But I've also been an active real estate investor, and I even started doing my educating about just real estate investment as early as the early 2000s. 2001, I started actively reading different books. I've bought different programs. I read the Robert Allen's, Carlton Sheets, Tyler G. Hicks.
Man, you're going back.
Yeah, Miss Jeffrey Teller, Mr. Landlord.
He's right here.
I mean, just a whole plethora of stuff. I done bought the big package courses. I've done it all in terms of trying to educate, and I still add to my repertoire. So
good. So an accountant that does real estate, you're like a unicorn.
Yeah. And I do have a music background as well, so I can play various instruments. Actually, 2019, I got my master's in music theory and composition from Norfolk State University.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So, all right, so you know a little bit about what you're doing.
A little bit, yeah. I would like to think so.
All right. So round up, when I saw what Clarence was doing, and I would, y'all know I'm a huge proponent of Section 8 housing because it's guaranteed income. The rent will come in from the government.
Mm-hmm.
I do Airbnb too. Don't necessarily like Airbnb because it's a lot of in and out. But when Clarence showed me this thing with this travel nurse, really piqued my interest. And it kind of pays like Airbnb, but it's longer stays, and you got less people coming in and out.
Right.
So Clarence, tell us a little bit about what is a travel nurse and why would we be interested in that?
Well, so traveling nurses can be other traveling medical professionals, just general traveling Just any general traveling contractor or professional in general. So they may have a temporary work assignment where they have to go out of town and they need an accommodation. It could be for 30 days, it could be for 60 days, sometimes even up to 6 months. Um, I,
I love it.
Days I've been averaging have been about a 90-day stay, is what
Man,
I've.
I
But,
love it.
and at that point, they don't they don't always want to be cooped up in a hotel. They want to have a home away from home. And so if you happen to have a property and there's a few things you got to do, you fully furnish your property, and let it and put yourself in the different avenues, the booking channels that are geared toward these traveling nurses and traveling professionals, so to speak. Then you can position yourself to make some good income.
So, yeah, how did in the world did you stumble upon this, brother? Because you told me you only been doing it for a few years. I'm like,
Yes,
this
sir.
isn't something that you just wake up and say, I'm gonna do traveling professionals.
Right, right, right. Well, I happen to stumble upon it. My partner, she's a CPA as well. Her name is soon to be Dr. Janice Rogers,
Okay.
and she has different properties in Northern Virginia as well as in the Southern Virginia. And for a while, she just kept telling me about these traveling professionals and corporate housing, and I was like, okay, okay, yeah. But then she just started showing me her 1099s. And for everybody, for Roundup, if you don't know what a 1099 is, that's basically a statement that says how much money you made from different providers. So whether it's the various booking channels that she's put her properties on, she showed me what she was making. And she even told me a property that I had a property in the same neighborhood, and she made like 4 times as much money as was with a long-term rental, and I was struggling even trying to maintain that and keep a good tenant. And she made 4 times as much money.
Let's talk about your long term rent. I see your blood pressure going up. Let's calm you back down, Clarence.
Yes,
Calm you
sir.
back down, okay? I see you getting anxious over the long term tenant. Tell me about that. Then we'll get to the the short term.
Well, so my experience in having long tenants. So uh, I around '07, me and my sister, we had the opportunity to get a quadruplex. Then we had a 12-unit apartment complex. Then I had another single family home that I was renting out by the room. So at
Mhm.
that point, I had like 20 tenants, 20 long-term tenants. With
Are these 2 bedrooms?
what was that?
2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, one
Three-
bedroom.
The fourplex and the 12plex were two ones,
Two.
each
Okay.
two ones. And then the single family I had was a 4 bedroom. And I was
Okay.
by the rooms. I actually kept for myself to go in and out when I wanted to. But so I have over 20 tenants, full-time job. I was actually working on an MBA at the time, so in grad school full time. So it was a lot. I literally would take off of work to go to court to evict people, or to get my property to contractors things. And I'm like, goodness. And when we first, did our property analysis, I'm an accountant, so I love the numbers. So I ran numbers before I got the property. And like, yeah, this is going to be great. We cash flow. I don't know what the numbers. I don't remember what the number was, but let's just say, man, we can cash flow $250 a door, and we got 12 doors. We're going to make good money on theory work.
Let's stay here for a minute because I feel like this is a lot of people in this country, including me. I was like, man, if I do $100, I did 10 doors. That's 1,000 a month, man. I'm gonna be doing something.
Yeah, if everything is perfect,
All right, then reality hits go.
then reality hits. Then water heater breaks, or
Hmm.
you know, one tenant, several tenants, all Mr. Harris, something. My cat ate my paycheck, and I can't pay you right now. And you know, and
You
just
didn't even account for vacancies no pays, late pays,
Right.
holdovers.
Right. And so what I realized, unfortunately, I actually, we actually lost our 12 unit, unfortunately, but I chalked it up, hey, School of Hard Knocks, that was part of my college tuition of real estate investing.
There you go. What are you gonna do? What are you
It
gonna
made
do? I lost.
it
Huh?
made it made me better. But what I realized is, especially knowing what I know now and the different model that I'm in now, your margins are very low. So it's not a lot of room for error.
What you talk
So
about it, the long,
yeah,
traditional long term. Okay.
this long term, your margins are lower than what they are if you're in a short term doing a short term model, in my opinion. So if you have a hiccup and you don't have the reserves, you could go from, on paper, you had a property that was going to give you a positive cash flow, to you being in the hole. Then it exacerbates by, you got to do the repairs, but you don't got cash flow coming in because some of your tenants ain't paying you on time. You spending a lot of time trying to evict people. So, and it could take 60 days to get somebody out. You ain't getting no money. And even if you get a judgment, half the time that ain't pulling through.
That's irrelevant.
And so now you can't even make all the repairs you got to do. You can't make your upgrades. It can snowball very quickly because the cash flow is not there.
Mhm.
And to me, it's a lot of risk. Tenants have rights. And I'm not, and this was over 10 years ago. So it's even crazy now with the moratorium. You can't evict people. You got to wait, what, 6 months to
14. Mm,
somebody.
it's nasty.
So it to me, I'm not saying that you should have rental property. You should have rental property. I truly believe that owning property is one of the key fundamentals to wealth building. However, in my experience, coming from the long term route, doing on a short term route, I just make bigger margins. And so when a hiccup happens, it's like, okay, well, we'll just take care of it. And we got excess cash flow. So
Mhm.
now we can even make upgrades. We're incentivized to make upgrades because the better our property is, the more we can charge for it.
Mhm. I
So
love it. I love it. So round up, if you think you're gonna go out there and get $200-300 a month, well, you may do okay for a year, 2-3 years. You might be able to pull it off, maybe. But vacancy, late pays, no pays, holdovers, updates, and repairs, that can just take. Clarence said it earlier today. That'll wipe your whole cash flow out for the entire year.
yeah, yeah,
For the entire year, $250 a month.
right.
I was right there with you though, brother. So I don't feel bad.
Yeah, yeah. So hey, had to learn about the hard knocks. So you hear our story, so maybe you don't have to go through the same thing that we went through.
Yeah. So listen, roundup. I'm hanging out with Clarence Harris tonight. We are talking about travel nurse and short-term rentals. What we're doing is we want to get your input, right? I want to get your input on questions to put. He's going to put a training together to show you how he's doing this. I have one with him. We just started it, and we're going to go over that tonight too. I never seen a tenant moving so fast. I mean, it usually takes me 2 months. Because think about it, on a traditional tenant, they have to end their lease where they're living. They got to close all that out. You
Hmm.
got to first of all, you got to approve and go through an application and pick somebody.
Right,
If you pick them on the 10th of the month, they got to stay at their current place for the rest of the month, and they might not even have their lease might not be up for 2 months.
right.
But this stuff, you got people ready to move, boom, 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 all the time. So we're gonna get into that more. Clarence gonna bring us on that because I'm new to this.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We're
sir.
making this training, the travel nurse training guide workshop, and we want we want to know your questions. And please put your questions in the chat so we can include that in the training. And below there's a link for us to get your email address so we can stay in touch with you to let you know when Clarence is going to do this training. So just click the link, just open up the video description, and you'll see our little email thing. It'll be Clarence's face. You kind of just collect your email. We'd love to stay in touch with you to let you know when future trainings are coming. So now you fast forwarded, Clarence. Yeah. You learned about this thing. You saw those 1099s. What was your mind thinking when you saw those 1099s? I'm imagining how much money you saw from your friend doing the business.
Yeah, my mind was thinking, oh, I need to get in the game. I need to get in the game. And before that, to kind of update you what I was doing as it relates to real estate, I had been buying land lots, doing new construction and selling it. And I still like to do that. But that's
long money.
6 to 8 month process.
If it goes smooth.
If it goes smooth. If it doesn't go so smooth, that might be a 12-month process. Mm-hmm. So the thing that I like about what we're doing now with the traveling nurses, the short-term rentals, is once you set your property up, it could take a couple of days and boom, you're in the money. You're getting that cash flow right then.
That's unheard of, man. Unheard of. I like that better than Airbnb. We got so much turnover, man. We might have 10 people coming in and out, 10 guests, man. It's just...
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Even with Airbnb, Airbnb is just simply another booking channel.
Yeah.
And you can actually use Airbnb to get your traveling nurses too.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Set your parameters. So
maybe you could include that in the training then, Clarence.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So fast forward, you saw the 1099, so you decided what? You wanted to get into it. So what were you thinking? Because you don't even have to own, we make money together. You don't even own the real estate. I want my roundup homies to know, listen, you don't have to own the property to do this. He's doing it. I don't own my Airbnb. That's somebody else's.
Right, absolutely. And so for myself, there's several properties that I manage, and some of them I own. Some of them I have an option to buy them later. And then some of them, just like with you, I don't have an option to buy it. We just make a great partnership, and I keep your property in pristine condition. I like to think that I'm a higher grade partner than maybe your other. I've seen how a tenant leaves your property. I'm not going to leave your property.
You saw that one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. So I like to think I'm a higher grade tenant partner. I like to think of myself as your property manager, and I'm going to keep your property in great condition. And if I can afford to pay you a higher rent, then, hey, I want you to feel good, because you know why, Chris? When you feel good and you love me as your property manager, you're going to want to go invest in more properties and have me manage those properties too.
Yep, it's already happening.
Right. And so now, you as the real estate investor, even if you don't want to do the work, you can take advantage of someone like myself that has the infrastructure, that is great at doing short-term rentals and traveling nurses and traveling professionals who are incentivized to keep your property in great condition. Because if your property is not in great condition, guess what? I can't make the money that I want to make. So even if something happens in your property, meaning, the toilet messes up, Chris, I'm not even going to wait for you, even though in our contract, it might say that, hey, you, the owner, are responsible. I'm not even going to wait for you. I'm going to immediately take care of it because I want my money.
That's sweet. So your first one I know you got a whole bunch of them now.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that first one when you were putting it together, and how you kind of your thought process going through it.
Oh, I was just excited just to get started. And so one of my other partners, he's a real estate agent. He called me up. He said, look, I just got a listing for a townhouse in Virginia Beach. It's going to need a rehab before I put it on the market. You want it? So me and Robin, we went out there, we took a look at it, and I said, and I'd already did my research on what I think it would make as a short-term rental and traveling professional rental. And I said, you know what? I want it. So we went to a hard money lender, Put our 15% down, got a hard money loan, got the rehab funds. We rehabbed it. It was totally it. Yeah, it was in a condition.
It was rough,
Looks
pretty rough.
I can't. I will invite you, Chris. If you want to go out and do a property tour there, I'd love for you to come out and share it with the roundup.
Yeah, I like to see that. What's it? Is that Hampton Roads too?
Yep, absolutely.
So tell us about. We're gonna get to Q&A too. Roundup. Please get your questions in the chat there. If you're watching this after the live, put your comments put your questions in the comments so Clarence can come back and answer them.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about, because you have these themes. Like, I didn't even think about doing something like this, but how did you come up with that stuff, and what do you do, and how did you come up with this stuff?
Well,
You can tell them about mine. How did you do mine? Well, let's start. How did you do mine, and then we'll go to how you
okay.
came up with it.
So the theme at your property, we went with all the artwork is based on Marvel Comics and DC Comics. So I wanted to show the Marvel universe and the DC universe some love. And actually I had been stashing a lot of that artwork for some time. So if I happen to be online, whether it's Amazon, and I see something I like, I'll buy it. If I Walmart, I see something I like, I buy it, and I just stash it, knowing one day I'm going to get a property, and this is going to be my vision, and I'm going to do it.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
And the reason I like doing these themes, well, one, I'm a creative at heart. I told you I'm an artist, musical
Yeah.
background. So this is just another way to express myself. Utilizing real estate. Like, hey, let's not just do the same boring thing every time. Let's just do something different. And also, believe it or not, when you're putting your properties on whatever booking channels that you do, people like things that are different and stand out. And so that's why I do the different themes.
Round up, the man has video arcade games in these rental units, yo. I'm telling y'all, I never seen anything like this. Clarence, you just go above and beyond. That's crazy.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm trying to think. You get it all set up. You list it through whatever website you go to.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your cleaning crew, because from my Airbnb, that's paramount to make sure when the people get there, it's clean.
Absolutely. That arguably might be one of the most critical components of the operation is your cleaning crew, along with your maintenance crew as well. But the cleaners, that's everything, because when you're having your guests come in, if your property is not clean, they're going to complain. And if they complain, depending on what type of booking channel that you're using, most booking channels utilize sort of rating. And if your ratings are low.
Hold up. Oh, you said you broke up. Somebody texting you or something.
Oh,
Tell
sorry.
them you call them back, man. Darn, somebody leave you alone.
Yeah, actually, that was my Ring camera. I got to silence my alerts.
Oh, okay. You said they're set up on did you say rating system?
Yeah, so whatever booking, there's various booking channels that you can advertise, like Furnish Finder, and that's they have rating systems. And people will rank your property, their experience at your property. So if you're getting low ratings, it affects your SEO. People won't want to book at the higher premium rate if they're seeing that you're getting low ratings. And cleaning is a very critical component to having a high score. So if you're going to do this, and you're going to do it yourself, meaning you're not going to partner with, someone like myself that's already doing it, you better have you a great cleaning crew that knows what they're doing, that's experienced in doing this type of operation.
Gotcha. So that cleaning, y'all, if you're gonna do this stuff. Have you ever had an issue with the cleaning? I mean, I'm presuming you have people that do this stuff because you can't do them all.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, of course. I've had cleaning issues with cleaning. I've had issues with, sometimes, you know, for the most part, we get great we get great reviews, but everybody's human. So there's going to be some things that, you know, a guest might say, you know what, there was
Bug or something.
three flies
Yeah.
in the kitchen. It could be anything. So so you have to be prepared for that. And you really, what I like to tell my cleaning crew is, when you're cleaning this, of course, I want you to clean it to the standards that we have put out there, but I also want you to look as if you were buying this place. I mean, you were renting this place yourself, and if
Mhm.
you found anything that was dirty, you get a free stay.
Oh shoot.
Right. And now you're going to really look for anything.
Hmm.
You you're looking at it with that, and that's how folks will look at it.
I'd like to ask you, Clarence, on the travel nurse training. Can you give them a checklist of some people might not even know how to clean, or they can give that checklist to their cleaning crew and say, "Look, boom, 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 boom."
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, we definitely can put that in the training course.
Would y'all do that? Y'all give a thumbs up for that? Would y'all like Clarence to do that? Give him a thumbs up for that. Listen, guys, I'm here with Clarence Harris. We're talking about travel nurses short-term rentals, and we're putting right now, we're putting together, literally together, a traveling nurse training for you, a workshop where Clarence can come on here and teach you how he's doing this. There's a link in the video description for us to just stay in touch with you so you don't miss the training. We will get your email address. Clarence, tell us about the money. What can one expect? I know my Airbnb does like 3 to 4 thousand. It's just a 2 bedroom. What can we
Mhm.
expect with what you're doing, brother, regarding the gross? Because everybody has a mortgage and then they have. Well,
Right,
before we get to that, what do you have to include? You stage it. What other utilities are you putting into this thing or amenities?
right. So when you set up your property, of course, you got to have all your furniture in there. You have to put all your technology, so that's going to include your TVs. That can include I put external outside security cameras, so I know what's going on the outside of my properties.
Mm-hmm.
But I mentioned to you before, Chris, that we use smart locks.
That's
So
sick.
yeah, so we can give people programmable codes that they can act that is accessible when they check in, and it ends when they check out. So
That's crazy.
so no keys. We don't give out any physical keys. You have, a access code, or you can utilize the app on your phone. So you have to invest in that as well. You have to invest in cleaning supplies, certain supplies just for your guests when they're there. And of course, believe it or not, a lot of money goes into having your linens. So your sheets, comforters, quilts, ta- towels, and things like that.
Gotcha.
And
And you got, huh?
it's quick.
What?
It adds up quick. And so and it really just depends on the size of your property. So, so whether you got a bedroom, one bath, smaller apartment style, or you got a 5 bedroom, 3.5 bath, it's really just gonna be dictated on.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And you're paying, you're supplying electric, gas, water.
Yes. So yep. So you pay for you typically are gonna pay for all of the utilities.
Mhm.
So your electric, gas, water, you cannot not have Wi-Fi. So get you some upgraded high-speed internet. Um,
Gotta have that.
yeah, and I'll say this: if you're getting, I don't want to say older, the more mature crowd, if you're catering to them, you probably want to have cable TV. But if your audience is a little bit younger, the younger generation, I like to think I'm in that younger generation. We don't necessarily care about cable TV. Give us Wi-Fi and all the streaming apps, and we're good.
Yeah, I'm done on the cable.
But like my mom, no, she wants a cable box, and she doesn't want any streaming apps. Give me the cable box and let me shift through the channel. So depending on who you want the market to. So even traveling nurses, you can set it up where you can set your advertising up that it's geared to a more older audience, and even how you theme it, or a younger audience, and how you.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That's cool. Roundup, get your questions in for Clarence. Travis just closed on a single family house today, considering doing travel nurses. Good for you, brother. That's cool. Right on time for you. So, if you got a question, make sure you put in your city where you're hailing from tonight, where you're coming from tonight. Little Miss Thunder Baby. Need a nice picture. Travel DD, travel nurse contracts usually are 8 to 13 week assignments with extensions. Is that something you notice, Clarence?
Yeah, like I said, around that 2 to 3 months. Yeah.
Gotcha. She looks like, it's travel DD. Maybe she's a travel nurse herself. Nice picture, DD.
And also another thing too, which is a supplement to having travel nurses, if you can get in good with individuals who have insurance displacement claims. So, for example, oh my rings. I'm sorry about
You're
that.
blowing up, man.
Blowing up, but hey, maybe someone had a house fire. It's going to be 3 months until their house is rehabilitated. They got the right insurance. They're getting a per diem to go stay wherever they want to stay. So knowing the people who helps place these individuals in housing, that's critical too. So I've been fortunate enough to build some of those relationships too. So that's part of your strategy. But more on that in the training.
Yep. Kenny wants to know, Kenny, what city you at, brother? What city you at, dog? Do you charge them up front for the whole stay, or do they pay weekly, monthly?
Typically, if it's 30 days or less, yes, they're gonna pay all that up front. If it's multiple months, then we can set up an arrangement where they're paying every 30 days up front.
Gotcha. Hey, Sago. Hey, round up, homie. What's up? My partner and I are looking to get into travel nurse rentals as well. How much are you setting aside for furniture? I'm presuming, let's just say furniture and staging.
Furniture and staging, it really depends on a couple of things. One, the size of your property. Two, I'm missing the word, the level of expensiveness that you want your furniture to be. So I usually set aside, going into any property, I'm thinking anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000
to get it staged up.
Yes.
Gotcha. You got that, Ace Sago?
And so, and let's stay right there for a second. So let's say worst case scenario, I put $10,000 into a property to stage it. Usually that's going to be a bigger property. That's going to be a 5-bedroom property. I put $10,000. If that is my upfront investment, I'm also thinking about, for me to do that deal, I probably would want to look at that property to cash flow me anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a month.
Net
after expenses.
So you're looking to get your money back in 5 months.
Right.
That's still stupid, man. I mean, look at me. I bought a house. I won't get my money back. I mean, we'll make a little bit of cash flow, but usually 3 years is considered great, just in business in general. Let me ask you, Clarence, you're the CPA. What do most people consider great when getting their money back on a business venture, any business venture?
You know what? I hate to use this answer, and this is the standard answer, especially if you're going to ask an accountant. It depends. And it really depends on what I call what's your own personal opportunity cost. So what is your next best investment that you can put it in? So for example, let's say I had to put up front $10,000 to stage a property. And
Mhm.
then and let's say I partnered with someone like you and I gave you $3,000 in rent and deposits up front. So I'm in $13,000.
Yep.
Now, if let's say I make conservatively $1,000 a month net after all expenses per month,
Mhm.
that's $12,000 for the year on a $13,000 investment. That's almost 100% return on your money.
There you
That's
go.
what you doing in the savings accounts that's not even paying you probably 1%.
Mm, mm, mm.
So it's relative to what your next best alternative is. Now, maybe you are maybe you're a business owner that has your own trucking company, and if you invest in another truck, it's going to give you a 300% return on investment. So maybe this might not be where you want to do.
They
But
still gotta pay for the truck back though, Clarence. I mean, they still get time to get the money back from the truck.
yeah, yeah. So, but it just boils down to this to me. Most people's next best investment alternative, I don't believe, for a lot of us, we're not seeing. I don't even know if we're even getting 6%.
Heck no. When you boil it down, a lot of us don't even you can't even see it because you're hustling so hard. You gotta look at it long over time.
Right. So yeah. So in general, I would say for myself, I like to net. I like to net at least $1,000 a month.
Gotcha.
That's a
Okay.
good. That's a good cash flow for me. Now, do I get more than that some months? Absolutely. But I'm happy if it's performing. It's performing good if it's doing that for me.
Sweet. So round up, get your questions in the chat, please, so you can. We want to know your opinion. We really do. What do you want to see Clarence cover in this travel nurse training workshop that he's putting together? We're putting together right now, and you're going to be a part of it. And make sure you sign up below to give us your email address so we can stay in touch with you, so you'll know when the workshop will be done. Clarence Harris, it's an honor to be on here with you, my friend. Let's get to some more Q&A. You good with that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm happy to be here.
We got a love offering, man. That is so cool. Thank you so much. Lexi Lou, look at that. Thank you for both setting up this instructional training. Pretty please, write in a step by step.
We got.
Lexi Lou, you're too much. That is a phenomenal picture. Thank you so much for supporting the boy, man. I'm out here trying to. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm 30 seconds. I
Yep.
started the roundup right back in 2010.
Okay.
I just wanted to round up. I'm like, let me see if I can round up the best guys I know in the town. That was my whole reason for doing the round.
Right. Right.
I'm like, I'm gonna call it the real estate roundup. I'll round up my real estate guys I know. I had no idea it would turn out to be. So I'm still going back to my roots, Lexi Lou, trying to find and round up the best guys. I promise you, it's hard to find these dudes. You know how many people I meet, like a Clarence? I meet him, hang out with him, go to something, find out he a poser. I'm like,
Oh,
damn, you a poser, man. Turn. Do you meet guys like that too, Clarence?
I've met some posers in my day, but fortunately enough,
You got a poser dar.
many I know how to filter them out, and I think I even can do it on an unconscious level.
Did you
So
try to filter your boy out?
who?
Me.
No, 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 no. Like, well, no,
You had to.
no. I
Oh,
think
that's good.
I think we had a good conversation. Actually, the first time that we were speaking, I think you were getting more hesitancy of me, and that's what I suggested. I said, "Hey, look, why don't we just get on the Zoom call, and I want you to know a little bit more about me."
Yeah, because I remember I'm like, I need to know your social because we were gonna do another deal. I'm like, what's
Right?
your you're like, who is this guy asking me? I'm like, you want to give it to me? I'm done. I'm good. The
Yeah,
tax ID, yeah.
yeah. I was like, look, let's see each other. Let's visualize each other. Let me learn about you, learn about me, and I'm sure that we can come to something.
I'm glad you did that and didn't just shut me down. That is cool. Round up, get your questions in. That's a good question right here. Hey, Sago, also, other than Airbnb, what booking platforms are you using, Clarence? That's a good one.
You got, there's VRBO, there's Furnish Finder, Booking.com, and even outside of booking channels, I would also recommend forming strategic alliances, networking, finding referral partners. Let them know what you are doing, because you don't have to be strictly 100% reliant on a booking channel. I get referrals from people because people know what I'm doing. So I'll get referrals. Hey, I have a contact and they're a traveling professional and they need a 45-day stay, Clarence.
Sweet.
Can you help them? I sure can.
It's weird because somebody reached out to me on Facebook and I sent you that message yesterday.
Yep.
It's weird how the universe, man, you put something out. Dan Kennedy wrote a book called Magnetic Marketing. We have to turn ourselves into these magnets and opportunity will come, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So don't limit yourself to any one booking channel, and don't even just limit yourself to booking channels.
Period.
Period.
Sweet. We got 70 people on here listening to Brother Clarence drop the Willy Bobos. You remember that? About to kick the Willy Bobos. Charles, huh?
It says, what's the response time for Furnish Finder? In general, on any of the booking channels, and I mean, it can be, if you list the property, I've seen folks book within 24 to 48 hours from the time that you've listed it. It's a function of, do you have a price that meets the demand?
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Charles, a good question, Charles. Donnell, what's up, homie? Chris is Master Pete in the real estate game. I appreciate that. We soldiers on the come up. God bless you, my brother. You got the Bible. Good for you. You're going to be a monster. Now, listen, Donnell, you got I want you, listen to me, Donnell. You have the real estate negotiating Bible. Right? I wrote it for that, just like you have hamburgers out there, right? But you have the Fuddruckers burger, right? So this is the book you need to be a master negotiating warrior. Now, Donnell, make sure you go out there and use it for good. Use those skills that you're going to learn for good, man. Don't be going out there and hurting grandma and grandpa, okay? I got love for you, man. Much love to you. Evan, hey, pictures to confirm after cleaning with checklist. That's a good idea.
Absolutely. And now they even have different apps that you can use that your cleaners can check in and put everything in, and it's uploaded to you. So we'll make sure that we have a list of the different resources you can use, even outside sending pictures.
Jeff Lewis, where you guys at? I mean, I'll put first of all, hit that thumbs up down below. But Jeff, where you guys coming from? Is there a special platform to cater to travel nurses, or do nurses go to Airbnb to look for a place, Clarence?
You will find some nurses on Airbnb, but Furnish Finder, that's one of the premier ones for traveling nurses. And there's some other booking channels that really specifically cater to traveling nurses. Or honestly, you could, if have connections with the local hospitals and healthcare facilities, let them go network, let them know who you are, what you have available for the folks that are coming in. So
Gotcha.
Don't be 100% relying on a booking channel.
The chosen one, I have been property free and clear. Good for you. Trying to get it rehabbed. How do I get funding in Baltimore? Clarence?
I'll defer that one to you, Chris.
Yeah, well, y'all know me, man. I'm private money. So I don't know your level of experience. I don't know how many you've done. Do you have other property? Do you have contractors that you use? What prices are there? I can't just give you one thing. But if I had a property free and clear, I would go to a hard money guy and see if they'd loan me the money and then refinance it out. There's some rough houses in Baltimore, man. You got to know. You got to know what you're doing if you're renovating a house in Baltimore, especially those row houses. I wouldn't even do them. Lexi Lou, will you include the marketing copy? Clarence, for the training.
I don't know if I quite understand.
The marketing copy, like what text that you're putting in your ads to attract these specific professionals.
Oh, yeah. We can have some examples of that. Absolutely.
Gotcha. Portland. Wow, I didn't know you was in Portland. Lexi Lou. One of my members, Sybil. Hey, Sybil, thank you so much for supporting your boy. so we can keep this thing moving, keep this train rolling.
Going on
Kathy,
in Portland.
you been out there?
I have not, but I do like Dame Dollar.
Who that? Is that a rapper?
He is plays for the Portland Trailblazers.
Oh,
One of the best guards in the game.
sorry, y'all. Y'all know I don't know anything about sports, man. I gotta get my members' questions first. Is there a particular type of house that's best work for you? Condos, 1 bed, 2 bath, 2 bed, etc. Clarence.
Myself,
We went to a what? 4 bedroom and a 2 bedroom today? What was that?
Yeah, that was a 4 bedroom, 2 full bath.
Okay. And then yesterday was a what?
That was a
2.
1.5 bath.
Okay. You broke up. You said that was a 2?
2 bedroom, 1.5 bath.
Gotcha. All right.
Myself, I try to, at least in the area where I operate, if I can avoid a condo, I will avoid a condo. I
Why?
just restrictions. So I don't want to deal with restrictions. Oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, and
I'm bigger than that.
I'm not saying that you can't make it work, and I'm not willing to do it, but because there are more restrictions, it can potentially be more restrictions, then I kind of require a higher margin for me to take that property on myself.
Gotcha. Jennifer Jones, hey, thank you for supporting the channel. One of our members. Word of mouth is beautiful. My cousin did a tour in Cleveland, went to training, and came back with another nurse. Wow, came back with another one. Interesting. Sybil, another one of our members. What platform do you use to search and compare properties before you're buying the properties to fix up? I guess that'll be from me. Or was that? Sybil, if you look right there, there's a website right there's Chris Property Data. You got to have PropStream. You got to have it. Chris Property Data is what we use every time. They give you the comps, they give you the mortgage information, they'll give you the phone number, they'll give you the mailing address, they'll give you the tax information, values, comps, on and off the MLS. You got to have PropStream. Without PropStream, I don't know how anybody's staying in business. So just go to Chris Property Data. I've negotiated a slight discount for you. It's a 14-day free trial. If you don't have PropStream, man, it's challenging. I don't know how you can stay in business without that. We do all of our skip tracing through that too. Kathy, how do you market to travel nurses? What's the most effective? I think we talked about that a little bit. Everything, right?
Yeah.
All on and offline. Kathy, you could rewind it a little bit for that, but we'll put that in the course too. We'll have a whole section for marketing. Charles, I've also reached out to employ housing coordinators of hospitals. Sweet. How quickly has your response been from other short-term housing platforms, Clarence?
Kind of going back to what I mentioned before, using whether it's booking channels, on various booking channels, I've seen folks from the time I listed it getting bookings within a 48-hour period.
Yeah, Charles, we finished ours. I mean, like the day he was done, he had somebody. They moved in 2 days later or 3 days later?
It was very close. I kind of cheated on that because when I say I kind of cheated, that was a repeat client that was at another property of mine, and they would
repeat client.
And so yes, I'd let even if I get regardless of where I find a client from. So it could be from a booking channel, it can be from a referral from somebody else, it can be from one of my strategic partners. Either way, when I have one of these traveling professionals or someone that stays a long term, I let them know, hey, if you come back into town, please reach out to me. We have various properties. We'll give you a discount when you come back. I want to be able to take care of you.
Sweet. That's cool to do.
You get repeat business.
All right, we got 70 people on here hanging out with us tonight. Clarence, you're the man, brother. Questions. Listen, get your question. Make sure you give us your email address so we can stay in touch with you to let you know when the travel nurse training will be done. Put your question in the chat. If you're not watching this during the live broadcast, just put it in the comments, or you can send us the question when you put your email address in the link in the video description. Okay. I want to stay in touch with you. And don't forget, next week we got a Black Friday block party. I got all my homies lined up, y'all, to give y'all some unbelievable discounts on all this training so you can get your butt in gear for 2022 to get rocking and rolling in real estate. And this travel nurse thing, you don't even have to own the house. You don't got to own it, yo. That's why I love it. They call it rental arbitrage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Claudian Davis, I was a travel physician therapist. Okay, they use short-term rentals and definitely know there's a huge opportunity there.
Yeah.
Sweet. What we talked about that. What platforms are you using? We did that one already. Jeff, how do you obtain the properties? Okay, or do you own them all? He does not. He doesn't own mine.
Yeah. So it's a mixture. Some I do, some I don't.
My thing, I wouldn't even care if I owned it or not. It doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
You still get the passive cash flow without even owning an asset. That's why I love the internet.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it before the internet.
Yeah. So if I can own a property, I will own a property. If I partner with someone like you, Chris, and you own the property, if we could still make money together, I'm cool with that too.
Yeah, that's so cool. Strategic alliances, y'all. I just learned that phrase this year. Strategic alliances, okay? Lexi Lou include, how to acquire the residence, what I need to purchase, marketing, copy, pictures, resources. Okay. Jennifer, I'm with Lexi. I want a box of rental arbitrage. That's right.
Ooh, I like that comment he had. Rental arbitrage versus conventional ownership. So I think we could probably do a chart.
Okay. You talking about the pros and cons?
Yeah.
You get write-offs, depreciation, taxes. Yeah, you're right. That's be a lot for being the CPA. You got a whole computer brain that you could.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, Bonnie, out there in the Midwest, are your rentals full all year? Does the number of bedrooms, baths affect occupancy rate?
Well, that's kind of a complicated question. Now I'll take a stab at it right now, but we might need to go more in depth in the training. But those things can affect occupancy rates, and you can also push your occupancy rate higher by lowering your rate, if that makes sense. So the lower you make your rate, it's going to put pressure to make more people will want to get it. So, and that's not to suggest that you make a bare minimum rate. You still got to understand or figure what profit margin do I want? What do I think my average rate and occupancy is going to be for this property? So do I have all my rentals full all year? If you're saying all year meaning 365 days a year, I don't. And I don't know if I want all of them. I want them close to that. But sometimes, I want to take a couple of days out because I want to go get my maintenance team in there.
Check it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Do some refreshing, update some things. Heck, even myself, and I'm not saying that you have to do it, but I like to enjoy some of my properties sometimes too. So if I want to, use my own property for a weekend and have a little gathering, I'm going to do that. You can't do that with a long-term tenant,
Nope.
but in this model, you can. So, hey, if I need to utilize my own property, whether it's for myself, my friends, my family, I can do that.
The Clarence is having a Thanksgiving. What'd you call it?
We're Friendsgiving. Yeah, this Sunday at one of our good properties. So, yeah, we blocked the dates out and we're gonna have a good time.
Do I need to bring something for that, Clarence?
Some kind of side dish, or I'll let Robin get in contact with you.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to have a network of homies I can go to. When I go, they're not always asking me for money.
Yeah.
This is cool, man. It's like
and I don't know if this is outside of the scope of this, but I do want to share it. So even the property you went to, Chris, how we acquired that property is actually I had a client of mine who told me that they were selling a property. And so I asked her, I said, look, what if I give you an upfront amount of money and I rent it and I pay it off in X amount of years, basically do a lease option. So she countered me, and then she said, look, for this beach house, give me 10 G's up front and pay me X amount of dollars per year. And I was like, cool. So I need to raise 10 G's to get into the deal. Within 3 days, I called up different partners of mine. I even let them look inside the house. I'm like, look, you want to own part of this house? And so we raised like $20,000 to do the deal.
Wow.
So she got her, and she got her 10 G's. All my business partners, they collectively raised $20,000. I still retained a good percentage of the ownership, but we got that property started doing, the traveling professional short-term rentals, and it was cash flowing good. And then we had cash in the bank to go execute another deal. So I didn't even have to go back to the investors and say, give me more money because I want to get another property. We already had internally generated funds to go execute another deal. So what's profound about this to me is we were able to practice the art of group economics.
Group economics.
Yeah. I like to
Man.
think that it's better to have a little bit of something than a whole lot of nothing.
Group economics.
Mm-hmm.
We got to master that as a culture. Yeah, something. Round up, get your questions in. We'll do a few more, then we'll get out of here. What CRM do you use to track your rentals, Clarence?
Great question. There's actually there's channel managers that you can use. A channel manager that kind of will consolidate all of your booking channels, if you will. For example, I have Guesty, and so you can things within that. So I would, and we'll talk about that in the training as well, like the different channel managers if you have multiple properties and you're using multiple booking channels.
Good. All right, so I had you for our last question here, Jeff. How do you go about getting your cleaning service? That's an excellent question there.
Networking. So I've tried a lot of different folks, but I network. Actually, I'm a member of BNI. I'm not sure if we have any BNI members. That's Business Network International, thousands of chapters across the world. But in every BNI group, there's it can be one profession that is represented in a chapter, and so I formed even great relationships with cleaners that are in other BNI chapters. Hey, let me pass you a referral. I got these properties. You want to clean them for me? Great. And so,
Sweet.
yeah.
One of my members, Trevor, I got to get to Trevor. In Florida, you got to have a register. You have to register an Airbnb. Do you have to do the same for your platform?
In Florida, you registered. Hold on.
You got to register the Airbnb, the short-term rentals. They do that in Virginia Beach, I think.
It depends on what the guidelines in your
the municipality.
So what I would just recommend, wherever you happen to think about investing, just go to your city zoning and see what permits that you're going to need.
You got to do that. All right, round up. Look, this has been Travel Nurses with my boy Clarence Harris. Clarence, thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you, Chris, for having me on. Roundup family, thank you for allowing me to be with you tonight. I appreciate it. This is Norfolk CPA signing off.
Yeah, so Roundup, get your questions. If you're watching this later, put your questions in the comment. Give us your email address so we can notify you when we're going to do this training over the next few weeks. It's going to take us some time to put it together. But I feel that this is in 2022 for you guys. This is something. I mean, $3,000 to $4,000 a month, and we're talking about low turnover. And you're getting money faster. They pay for the whole month that they stay in. And repeat customers. I'm just envisioning these people coming with the scrubs, with the clogs on, the rubber shoes. They come. I just want to give them a hug. Like, come on in. No part. I mean, they're going to work. And I'm thinking about my other tenant, like, oh, it's always something. It's always something. Subscribe to the channel, Roundup homies. Share. Hit that share button with anybody else you think can benefit from having Travel Nurses, and we'll see you on the next video call. Peace.
All right.